Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to share and subscribe the channel. The hum of air recyclers, the soft murmur of interstellar travelers, and the occasional garbled announcement. In multiple alien dialects filled the air rail, stretched his shoulders as he entered the men's restroom of the bustling Nexus station, a floating hub connecting countless planetary civilizations. It wasn't his first time. Here he'd been working odd jobs across different planets, mostly as a cargo moving shipments of exotic goods and occasionally drinking with off-worlders. Life wasn't bad, but it wasn't exactly thrilling either. Just another day, just another station, that's what he thought, at least until she barged in. Rail had just finished washing his hands when he heard hurried footsteps behind him. A figure stormed in, moving with graceful urgency. He turned and froze. She was breathtakingly tall, but not intimidating slender, but with a presence that felt larger than life. Her silvery blue hair cascaded down her back and her luminous violet eyes darted around the room in panic. Strange glowing markings pulsed faintly on her temples, shifting in color as if reflecting her emotions. Her navy blue uniform clung to her form, accentuated with intricate silver embroidery that hinted at royalty or high status, and most importantly, she was very much not supposed to be here. Her gaze locked onto Rail. A flicker of realization crossed her face, followed instantly by embarrassment. "Oh, stars," she gasped. "Takinga step." Back. Rayleigh blinked. "You lost," she groaned, covering her face with a delicate hand. "This isn't a cleansing chamber for females, is it?" "Nope," Ra said, biting back a grin. The alien woman groaned louder. "I should have known. Curse of these human symbols. Why is the male figure so blocky? I thought it was a guard." Rail chuckled. "I mean, I guess we do look kind of blocky compared to Tyrion." Her head snapped up. "You know what? I am." Rue leaned against the sink. "Yeah. I've worked with a few of your people in cargo. You all have a thing for tradition and glowing tattoos," he said, pointing to her shifting temple markings. She winced. "You're not wrong." There was an awkward pause. "Well," Ra finally said, "as fun as this has been, I'm guessing you'd rather make a graceful exit before someone else walks in and assumes you're scoping out alien dudes." Her cheeks flushed a soft lilac as she whirled toward the door. That's when she'd tripped on the raised step. Rail's reflexes kicked in. He lunged forward, catching her just as she stumbled. Time slowed her scent. Something soft and floral yet electric filled his senses. The warmth of her body against his felt almost unnatural, as if the very air between them buzzed with energy. Her eyes flickered up at him, wide and startled. Rail being the idiot he sometimes was, smirked carefully. "If you wanted to fall for me, you could have just said so." The alien woman's eyes widened further, and before Rail even knew what he was doing, he did something reckless. He leaned in and stole a quick kiss, just a playful teasing peck on her soft milk-tinged lips, the kind of thing that would get a human woman to either laugh or punch him in the gut. But this wasn't a human woman. The instant their lips met, something happened. A sudden surge of heat pulsed between them, like an invisible spark had ignited in his bloodstream. His head spun. Her glowing markings flared, shifting from their soft lavender to a brilliant fiery gold. Rail pulled back, startled. What? The alien woman took 3 shaky steps away from him, her entire body trembling. Her lips parted, but she barely whispered. You kissed me." Rail scratched the back of his head. "Yeah, was that not a thing I was supposed to do?" Her breathing grew shallow. Her gaze darted to the door, then back to him. "Oh no. Oh no." Rail tensed. "Okay, I'm gonna need you to clarify whether that was an oh no, that was an amazing kiss, or oh no, you just triggered an ancient death ritual." Her entire body flushed a deeper violet. "You don't understand what you just did," she said, raising an eyebrow. "You're going to have to be a little more specific." She squeezed her hands into fists, staring at him like he was the single biggest mistake of her life. Then she spoke, her voice dead serious. "In my culture, a kiss isn't just a gesture. It's a bonding act." Ra's stomach dropped. "Okay." And her glowing markings flared again. "It means you just claimed me as your mate." Rail froze. What? She swallowed hard. "We're bonded now." Rail blinked, then blinked again, then ever so slowly he exhaled. "Okay, let's just take a moment. Here, I kissed you. It was, 2 seconds? Humans do that all the time. It's just, flirting fun." Her expression darkened. "For Tehran, it's not just fun. It's a sacred act. We only kiss the one we choose to bond with for life." Ra's face went blanco. "Yes, she said, and a heavy silence stretched between them. Then finally Rael spoke. So does this mean I get free Terran breakfast for life? She let out an exasperated noise, but before she could yell at him, her communication device beeped. A sharp, commanding voice rang out from the device. V, your presence is required. Immediately we have detected an anomaly. In your biosignatures, explain. Vina paled. Rael stiffened. Who's that? Via's glowing eyes, dark, started toward the door, then back to Rael. Her voice was barely a whisper. My people. Rael suddenly had every bad feeling about this. Vina grabbed at his wrist. We have to go now. Rael barely had time to react before she yanked him out of the restroom and into the bustling hallways of Nexus Station. Wait, hold on, he stammered. Why are we running? I'm not the one who just got fake married in a bathroom, because if they find us together they'll confirm the bond and then they'll force you into a tour. Inmate Tetrial. Rael groaned. That doesn't sound great. She whirled on him, eyes blazing. No, it's not. It's a test of commitment, and if you fail they could erase all memory of me from your mind. Rael paled. Wait, they can do that? Via nodded gravely. Which is why we have to hide. Rael exhaled, running a hand through his hair. So let me get this straight. I kissed a stunning alien woman in a bathroom, and now we're running from a bunch of space monks who want to brainwash me because I accidentally bonded with their princess. Via winced, headed more or less. Rael, she said, yeah, Hall. Right, Leighton, run. Via yanked him forward, and together they vanished into the crowd. Rael's heart pounded as he was yanked through the crowded spaceport. The scent of interstellar food vendors, the hum of alien chatter, and the flashing neon signs blurred into a chaotic mess around him. His grip tightened around Vina's hand, not just for balance, but because somewhere deep down, he didn't want to let go. This is insane, he muttered, ducking past a towering reptilian merchant haggling with a human TR. I don't even know you, and now I'm running for my life because of a toy kiss. Vina threw him an exasperated look over her shoulder. You're still thinking like a human. This isn't about just a kiss. You triggered a biological imprinting sequence. My people will see it as a legitimate claim of union. Ra groaned. Okay, so let's say hypothetically I don't want to be claimed. What's the worst that can happen? Via hesitated. That brief pause told RA everything he needed to know. Oh, come on. He groaned. It's bad, isn't it? She nodded as she pulled him into adamantly lit alley between two towering sections of the Nexus Station. The walls hung faintly with the power running through the station systems. Glancing around to make sure they weren't followed, she finally turned to him, her violet eyes glowing softly in the artificial light. If my people catch you, she said in a hushed voice, they will demand that you either complete the bond with me or undergo a purification ritual. Rael frowned. That doesn't sound too bad. Vina's eyes narrowed. The purification ritual involves memory. Erasure. Ra's stomach twisted. You're joking. I wish I was. She muttered. They won't harm you physically, but they'll erase any memory of me and ensure you can never interact with another tie-in again. Rael leaned against the wall, rubbing his temples. Great, so either I bond with you, which, forgive me, seems a bit rushed, or erase all memory of this ever happening. Via crossed her arms, looking suddenly defensive. It's not exactly ideal for me either. You think I wanted my first bonding experience to happen in a human restroom? Rael held up his hands. In surrender. All right, fair point. He exhaled. So what now? Do we just hide forever? Vina glanced around the alley, her jaw tightening. No, we need to get off this station before they track my biosignature. R blinked. You're serious? Very Cher replied. Okay, I need a second. He ran a hand through his hair. I don't even know you. You're a gorgeous alien woman who stumbled into the wrong bathroom, and now you're asking me to run away with you. Her expression softened for the first time. I know it's a lot, Rael, but I don't want to be forced into some ridiculous trial just because of a misunderstanding. And if they erase your memories. She hesitated. I don't know why, but the thought, how that bothers me. R.A. tilted his head. You're feeling the bond, aren't you? She stiffened. No. A slow grin spread across Rael's face. You totally are. Venus's lilac cheeks darkened as she turned away. We don't have time for this. Ray chuckled. You're panicking. I bet this has never happened to a Terran before. She shot him a glare. It hasn't, and you're not used to feeling anything romantic towards someone you just met. Correct. Leaned in slightly. Admit it, though. There's a little part of you that likes me. Vanna exhaled, Through her nose, I am debating whether I should punch you or not. Notterloft stepping back. Okay. Let's focus. You said we need to leave the station. How I don't have my own ship, and I doubt you can just hop on any transport without them tracking. Vena bit her lip, thinking there's one way, but it's risky, Rail groaned. Why is it always risky? Because nothing about this situation is normal. She shot back. There's an unsanctioned cargo ship leaving in an hour. I have access to a security override that can get us past customs, but if we're caught, we'll be detained. Rail smirked. Sounds fun. She rolled her eyes. You are far too calm about this. Hey, if my life is suddenly a romance novel with an alien princess, I might as well enjoy the ride. Vuz stared at him for a moment before shaking her head with a reluctant smile. You're insane, and yet you're still holding my hand. Her eyes widened slightly as she realized she hadn't let's go before I regret this. They navigated through the side corridors of the station, avoiding major checkpoints. V's people were efficient, but she knew the station's layout well, enough to evade their scanners at least, for now as they neared the cargo bay. Rail noticed Vena's breathing had become uneven. Even she was holding herself tense, her fingers twitching slightly. He nudged. Are you okay? She hesitated before nodding. It's just the bond. It's affecting me faster than I expected. Raff round. What do you mean? Vena exhaled. Tyrion don't experience emotions the way humans do. Our bonds are controlled, but when a bond is initiated, it's supposed to be a gradual connection emerging of souls over time. She looked at him, her gaze conflicted. But with you it's happening too fast. I already feel things I don't understand. Rail scratched his jaw. Well, I'm flattered and mildly terrified. She gave a dry laugh that makes two of us. Before Rail could respond, a loud beep echoed through the station. Vena's face paled. They activated a biot tracker. They know I'm still here, Rail cursed. No time for second thoughts. Then which way? Vena grabbed his wrist, leading him toward a restricted corridor that led directly to the cargo bay. The station's AI would have already alerted security, meaning they had minutes at best as they reached the cargo doors. A pair of station guards blocked their path. One was human, the other a bulky four-armed reptilian. Halt. Security scan initiated. The reptilian guard rumbled. Rail shot a quick glance at Vena. She was too tense. Her body language screamed that she was about to do something reckless. Just let me handle this, she whispered before Rail could object. She placed a hand on his chest and leaned up, her lips brushing dangerously close to his ear. Play along, she murmured before letting out a dramatic sigh. The guards froze as Vena turned to them, gripping Ra's arm. I apologize, officers. My mate and I were preoccupied. We didn't realize we were in a restricted zone. The human guard frowned. Mate, Vena's glowing tattoo, spewed faintly. Yes, he is my bonded partner. I had to calm him down after a disagreement. She shot Rail a look that clearly meant act like a love-drunk fool right now. Ra took a slow breath before wrapping an arm around V's waist and pulling her close. Yeah, he said, forcing an awkward chuckle, a bit of a misunderstanding. You know how human emotions can sound predictable. He rubbed the back of his neck. She has a way of putting me in my place. Vena suddenly dug her nails into his side. Rail fought back a laugh. The reptilian guard narrowed his eyes. You are bonded. The hum of the cargo ship's engines vibrated beneath Ra's feet as he settled against the cold metal wall, his pulse still racing. He couldn't believe they'd actually pulled it off. One moment, he was minding his business in a bathroom, and the next, he was on the run with a gorgeous alien woman who claimed they were bonded for life. Vena paced a few feet away, her glowing tattoos dimming and brightening. In a rhythmic pulse, she was obviously still processing everything. Her finger twitched slightly and her breathing was uneven. You okay? Ra asked, watching her closely. She stopped mid-step and turned to him. No, I'm not okay. I just broke at least 5 intergalactic laws. Abandoned my official station and fled with a human. Rail leaned his head back against the metal wall. You say that like it's a bad thing. V gave him a sharp look. Rail, you don't understand what we just did. If they find us, it won't be a slap on the wrist. My people have ways of dealing with bonding violations. He exhaled. Right? The memory wipe thing. She crossed her arms. That's the least of our problems. The Terran High Council takes bonding ceremonies very seriously. They'll see this as a direct challenge to our traditions, and if they think you're an unworthy partner. She didn't finish the sentence, but Rail got the message loud and clear. Okay, so let's Think about this logically, he said, standing up. There's got to be a way to undo this, some kind of legal loophole. Just kidding, Vina's expression darkened. There is. But you won't like it, Ruff frowned. Try me. She hesitated. We would have to go before the council and prove that there was no emotional connection between us. If they believe that, they might nullify the bond. Raised an eyebrow. That doesn't sound so bad. Venna clenched her jaw, because if they don't believe it, they'll demand that you go through the tie-on bonding trials. Rail blinked. Okay, you're going to have to explain what that means, because it sounds suspiciously like an ancient gladiator fight. Vina exhaled, rubbing her temples. Not quite. The trials are emotional rather than physical. You would have to prove that you are worthy of a Terran mate, that you can handle our way of bonding. Rail crossed his arms. And that involves. She hesitated before answering. Experiencing my emotions as your own. Fully, no barriers. No filters. Rail stared at her. You mean I'd feel everything you feel? She nodded. Every thought, every fear, every desire, every instinct that comes with being a Tyrian. Humans aren't built for that kind of connection. It could drive you mad. Rao let out a low whistle. Sounds intense. Vina folded her arms tightly. It's not meant for humans. That's why I was trying to get you out of there before the council got involved. He studied her for a moment, noting the way her fingers twitched to their sides, the way her breathing was still slightly uneven. She was terrified, not just for herself but for him, and that realization hit him harder than he expected. You're worried about me, he said, softly. Vina stiffened. I'm worried about the situation. That's different. Ray took a slow step closer. Is it? She didn't answer. Right away, her glowing tattoos flickered as if responding to some unspoken conflict inside. Her R tilted his head. Vina. What happens if I do go through the trials? She swallowed hard. Then we would be fully bonded. Permanently. There would be no way to. Its silence stretched between them. For the first time since this whole mess started, Rail felt the weight of what was happening. He'd always been the type to roll with the punches, to find humor in the absurdity of life. But this wasn't just some wild adventure. This was real. He could feel it in the way his pulse quickened when he looked at her, in the way her presence felt magnetic, in the way every instinct screamed at him that something bigger than either of them was happening. So he said after a long moment, if we want to avoid all that, we just have to convince them we don't have a connection. Vina nodded. Exactly. Rail smirked. Then we're screwed. She frowned. Why? He chuckled, rubbing the back of his neck. Because I think we do have a connection. Vina's eyes widened slightly. Rail, he shrugged. I mean, think about it. We just met, and yet you're risking everything to protect me and I. He hesitated before finishing. I don't want to lose you, and I don't know why. But it feels real. Her breathing hitched. You don't understand what you're saying. Maybe not, he admitted. But I know what I'm feeling. Vina took a shocky step back. We can't be bonded. Rail, not like this. Not without choice. He took a slow step forward. Then let's choose, not because of some ancient rule. Not because our tradition, but because we want to. Her glowing tattoos pulsed brighter. Her violet eyes searching his face for something: fear, doubt, hesitation. But she found none of those things, and that terrified her. Ra, this is insane, she whispered. Yeah, he said with a soft smile, but maybe it's the best kind of insane. Her breath hitched before she could respond. The ship lurched violently, and an alarm blared through the cabin as the sound of metal scraping against metal filled the air. Rail instinctively grabbed onto a nearby railing as the artificial gravity fluctuated for a second, throwing them both off balance. Venus's communicator buzzed loudly. She snatched it up, her expression darkening as she read the incoming transmission. They found us, she muttered. Ra's stomach dropped. Who? The Tyone enforcers. His grip tightened around the railing. You mean the guys who want to raise my memories and throw me into an emotional death trap? Those would be Theones, she confirmed. Rail groaned. Fantastic. What's the plan? Vina looked up.